Maddie, aka Hello Interloper here. Today we have some information about a new monster and fusion recipe. A lot of people were thinking that there was going to be a new fusion recipe soon, and that it was going to be either Fire Chimera or Fire Monkey King, because apparently on, I think the Asia server, Fire Monkey King is a fusion recipe. But instead we're getting a whole new monster and a whole new fusion recipe, actually 3. So, for the 2nd anniversary, they were thanking us for supporting their game, and they want to talk about the new monsters in the fusion. So the new monster is here, and it's called the Panda Warrior. So basically we got a Kung Fu Panda. And one thing to note is that the 2 new recipes past that will be Water Horus and Wind Kung Fu Girl. It says girls here, I don't know why, I think it's a typo. So, also the other elements of Panda Warrior will be introduced, so that means that you can get Water and Wind through Legendary or Mystical Scroll, and Light and Dark through Light and Dark Scroll or Wishes. So there is a video, which I will not play, because if I play it, it's going to probably crash, and there will be some changes to the Fusion Hexagram, making the UI, or user interface, a little easier to use. This is the following fusion recipe for the Fire Panda Warrior. You will need a Fire Succubus, a Wind Kung Fu Girl, a Water Horus, and a Fire Viking. So, if you have these monsters already, good for you. If you don't, you confuse them. And you can fuse them with, looks like Water Serpent, Water Mummy, Wind Golem, and Seek, otherwise known as Fire Hellhound, to make Water Horus. To make Wind Kung Fu Girl, you need Wind Reaper, or Grim Reaper, Wind, what is it called? Charger Shark, which was just a recent secret dungeon that was released. You need a Roke, aka Fire Inugami, and you need a Water Imp. Thankfully, Water Imp is easy to get. And then you will need a Fire Beast Hunter to make Succubus, which is everybody's worst nightmare because it can only be got so far from Unknown Scrolls or Mystical Scrolls. You can't farm it. It's not in the scenario. It's not in the Guild Point shop, which annoying as hell. Then Fire Salamander, and I always get Salamander and Serpent mixed up. I'm pretty sure that's Salamander. Then Water Harpy and Wind Harpoo. Of course, the fusion for the Fire Succubus is already in the game, but then you also need Fire Viking, who can be thankfully gotten from a secret dungeon, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure. Yes, as maybe you've already noticed, but there will be some UI improvements for the fusion content in the next update. And then finally, they have provided us with information for the Fire Panda Warrior. It is a defensive type with its basic attack called Sequential Attack. It attacks the enemy 3 times with each strike, having a 30% chance to decrease the target's defense for 2 turns, which is going to make it really good for Necro. Then number 2 is Calm Mind. Removes the harmful effects casted on yourself and counterattacks for 2 turns when attacked. So I pretty much believe it adds the counter buff to it for 2 turns. Recover 15% of HP of all allies in each turn for the next 2 turns. So for the next 2 turns, all allies will recover 15% HP. The wording is a little confusing there, but it seems that that will be quite a good support skill to have, especially for Necro, since during Necropolis, the Lich King, or whatever the heck he's called, he does do an AoE attack. So recovering the HP of all allies is pretty nice. Also, harmful effects gone, counterattack, pretty nice. So with the counterattack, you can get a head start on putting those multi-hits on the Lich, because hopefully if counter is, activated, you get 3 hits for free. Then Panda Supremacy is the 3rd skill. Attacks the enemy 4 times with each strike, having a 50% chance to apply a random harmful effect. That's pretty interesting. The damage is proportionate to your defense and the enemy's max HP, meaning that this is going to be pretty good against bosses, because, as we all know, bosses have a lot of max HP. The leader skill increases the defense of ally monsters by 33%, which is alright. I mean, I can see how his leader skill will be good in Raid, because, you know, a lot of people will automatically make their leader to be Vero, or I see a lot of Theo leads for the critical rate, or some kind of resistance leader. So if you don't have any leaders available, because everybody used like Vero, Theo, whatever the common ones are, you can just put the defense one, make things a little easier. But also, Panda Supremacy seems pretty good for Raid, because you will add random harmful effects, meaning that you might be able to fill a gap that one of your teammates or even yourself cannot fit. As you know, all debuffs on the raid boss are shared, so random debuffs, hell yeah. And also, unfortunately for raid, the max HP, it doesn't scale to the raid boss, otherwise people would be taking it down the raid boss really, really quickly. Anyway, that's all the information that they've given us so far, so make sure that you are saving these monsters. Take another look, go on the Wikipedia thingy, Wikia, whatever. Take note of these, save them, put them in your storage, start working on them, whatever. Because there's definitely going to be a rush to fuse Fire Panda, and you're probably going to see a lot of them in Arena, a lot of them everywhere, so if you want to be ahead of the game, start saving up. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time.